What's up, witches? Surprise, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Why is this talking like here? What's up, witches? Say what's up if you come in the room. What's going on? I'm trying to find this video. Here we go. Here. What's up? It is my Friday night. Hey, Jessica. How you doing? It is my Friday night, so you guys know I am turning it off, shutting it down, going into relax mode. And one of our members at HQ, shout out to you, you know who you are, gave me an edible. And Mama is feeling right. So I wanted to come and hang out with you guys for a little bit. And I felt really called to pull some cards for this upcoming new moon. I personally am very much looking forward to it. I don't know about you guys, but I love an opportunity to have a new beginning in the second house. If my astrology witches know what I am talking about. Okay, so hold on. Let me tell Instagram that I'm here. Instagram. What are you guys up to? What are we doing this evening? Are you guys looking forward to the new moon as well? What are your plans, if you have any, to call in that energy? I think this new moon would be in the second house, right? It's a new moon in Taurus. um, um, what was I reading? Taurus rules the second house. That's it. That's it. I don't know if it's happening in the second house. I guess it would be different for everybody. I don't know. I'm not an astrologer. I know it's a new moon in Taurus. And I've learned that Taurus rules the second house, which is the house of money and possessions and material wealth and things like that. So I know that that's Taurus's energy, just generally speaking, but in terms of like knowing houses and things like that, I'm no astrologer. That's why I refer you guys to Alexis. We are manifesting a witchy cleaning business for my sister and myself. I love that. We have a witchy cleaner at the shop. I typically do all the cleaning at HQ, but I recently hired a young lady with a company named Victoria Vass Cleaning Services. Shout out to you, Victoria, to clean the shop. And she's a witchy like house cleaner. So in addition to cleaning everything, she'll also do some smoke cleansing and things like that. It was really cool actually, because when she did her consultation, like when she came over and I showed her around to do the job, she was like, "So do you do floor washes? Do you want me to do a floor wash?" And I was so happy that that was like a part of the service that you could like add on. And I was like, "We do have floor wash actually." So a witchy cleaning business could do really well. She seems to have a lot of clients. So let's do it. Actually, Jessica, you should participate in my 21-day challenge that I have coming up, which I haven't really even started telling people about. I've only told a few people, and yet somehow, um, I guess folks have already seen it on the HQ online portal, and have already been like starting to sign up for it. But I'm doing a 21-day challenge for my spiritual entrepreneurs starting June 1st. All right. It's going to be 21 days of affirmations, journal prompts, and action steps for you to take your business from idea stage to ready to launch. And especially a service-based business like a cleaning business, I feel very strongly that if you guys are still in the like idea phase, or even if you're further along, that you will definitely be ready to launch within the 21 days. So we're going to do affirmations that kind of help reprogram your mindset about going into business for yourself or starting this new venture. We're going to do journal prompts for like the scripting, manifestation part, the visualization part. And then there's going to be an action step for you to take every day towards your business, whether it's working on your business structure or financing or figuring out how you're going to market yourself. Like, what have you, how you're going to book your appointments. So yeah, I'm really, really, really excited about that because uh, being a, a business owner person was never like that was never like the goal. I wanted to like work magic, and I was like, oh, I could like do this. But kind of making a business out of it just like really grew fast on me. And I want to make it easier for other people because to me, it's almost like kind of like a conspiracy. I try not to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. Um, but to me, it feels like almost intentional the way they like keep certain information under wraps. I feel like starting a business is so hard in a lot of ways simply because there isn't a lot of like good answers about what you need to do. There's a lot of people who are trying to make money off of people starting businesses. So people that want to insist that like you need a lawyer for an LLC or you need to do, all of this to get a trademark and blah blah blah. And they make it seem like it's really difficult. And a lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's just like knowing what paper to fill out, what forms you actually need to have versus like what they talk about. Um, like when I first started, I thought I needed an LLC right away, but I didn't actually need that until I opened my space. Like, um, yeah, that you don't need a lawyer to do that, to get an LLC, like just all this stuff that like is hidden behind all these like riddles. Um, so I want to make it easier for people because it is hard work to have your own business, but actually starting a business, like the paperwork and stuff that you need, for the most part, not complicated. Um, so it really shouldn't be that hard. It should not taken me years to learn the things that I have, but it's okay because I'm gonna give you like 21 things to do. I'm going to do the 21-day challenge. And then at the end of the 21-day challenge, which is going to end on the summer solstice, I am going to be teaching a webinar for my spiritual entrepreneurs who are um, basically wanting to get themselves like established enough to the point that they can live off of what they do. Not everybody who has a spiritual business really wants that. Some people just want it to be something they do on the side. They have a full-time job that they really love or, whatever. But for folks that are more interested in having something that's like buildable, um, then I'm going to do a webinar for them and get ready for my business intensive. So I am very much looking forward to this new moon in Taurus because I feel like it's very in alignment with what I'm going through, what I'm working on, what I'm creating, and what I'm helping other people create. So I'm planting that seed this new moon in big ways. 21-day challenge would be a great learning experience. Yes, yes, do it. Oh, it's just $21. Hello. Okay. The last 21-day challenge I saw was this vegan chick that I follow. And I went and clicked on it and it was like $2,000 or something like that. And I was like, ooh, girl. I mean, I support it, do your thing. But I was like, I think I'm gonna have to sit that one out. You just had your first client. Yes. Yes, because like I said, I think that's a great business idea. I think there's enough, but we'll talk. We should set up an appointment because I think there's a way for you to do a business like that also, and not be too niche. You don't want to be like just for the witches, um, because there's not necessarily that many of us. It's a great idea. All of us would want it. But there's a way that you can have like that spiritual and witchy element to you, but still be appealing to people that are, the normies, the non-witches that just want like an extra zhuzh with their cleaning service. So yeah, dude, it's just $21. It's in the HQ online portal. I don't think I put it in the description of this video because I don't even think I thought I was going to be talking about it yet. But if you click on the link in the description to the online portal, then you can register for that and you'll find it in there. It's the first thing you'll see. And the portal is free to join. You just have to make like a password login thing. So do that and do this 21-day challenge with me, entrepreneurs. Okay. Um, yes. I know. That's why I said I didn't want to sound too conspiracy theorist and I didn't want to, but as I've been dealing with it for the last 5 years and just getting into it, it is quite often that I find myself being like, wait, like, so like why don't we all just know this? Like this is really like all you need is this form on this state page, or like, oh, that's what that means. Like, oh, you just need like it seems intentional to keep the information away from people. Cause yeah, like I said, it's a whole ton of work to have a business, but just the technical aspects of starting a business are not actually as complicated as um, I feel like it seems it is if you're just like just beginning to research, like, what do I do? What's an LLC? What is, how do I collect taxes? What's the difference? State tax, local tax, what's this? Um, it is annoying. And so yeah, anyway, I want to help. I want to help my fellow witches. Yes, perfect. If you're at infancy, like meaning idea stage, and I think you said you already have one client and you have like a client or two or whatever, the 21-day challenge is going to be perfect for you. Absolutely perfect for you. Because by the end of it, you'll be able to be like, oh, okay, no, this business is in operation. I have a clear and concise way for somebody to contact me, to book with me, to purchase my item. I'm using like a legitimate payment processor. I have a proper bank account for these things. I have a registered business, actually registered business. A lot of people think if you have a logo and a business name and you charge people money, like, I don't know, with PayPal or something, like you don't actually have a business. I don't mean that to be mean. I mean, if you are not registered with a municipality of some kind, state or federal, you're not really a business. But registering your business with a municipality is way easier than it's made to seem, and way cheaper than it's made to seem. But anyway, you need that. So yeah, so in the 21 days, we're going to really get you like up and running. Cause now, knowing what I know now, I'm like, hell fucking yeah, you can have a solid business in 3 weeks. Like that shit took me like, I'm not going to get you to where I am in 3 weeks, like 3 years in 3 weeks, but you are definitely going to shave off like 3 months in those 3 weeks. I can guarantee you that, because stuff that took me like at least the first 3 months to figure out, if somebody would have just been like, oh, you go to this office, you fill out this form, you go to this website, then you do this form, then you take that, and then you open up a bank account, and then your business. Like if somebody had like broken that down, I would have been like a little quicker on the uptick. Okay. Alrighty. But anyway, I'm gonna break all that down for you guys so you can be up and running within 3 weeks and it'll be good to go. And then I'm doing the intensive over the summer. So if you want to spend 6 weeks taking some classes and coaching from me, you can do that too. So stay tuned. More information on that. But the intensive should be in July. All right. So stay tuned. Summertime, I was like, I was thinking about doing all of this in the fall when the magic intensive is happening and running both intensives together. And Spirit was like, no, people have spring, like have summer off. The teachers, I was thinking a lot about people who are teachers or who just otherwise have like slower seasons in the summer. And I feel like people can dedicate more time to taking like, hour-long classes and coaching and going to do paperwork and stuff like that in the summertime. So I kind of bumped myself up. So be on the lookout for the intensive in the summer, spiritual entrepreneurs. Vanessa, I haven't seen your name around here before. Vanessa, you might be new. Welcome. If so, if by free readings you mean you don't have to pay to be here right now, then yes. I'm not doing personal readings, so I am going to pull some cards for each of the elements of the zodiac. So sit back, relax, and listen out for your sun, moon, rising sign readings. They're coming up. I still haven't told Instagram that we're here. Oh, and I want to put my music back on. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. I mean, I am, technically. I guess I am, but I don't mean it. I don't mean it that way. I wanted to put the link to this in Instagram, I think is what the problem is, and I can't seem. Oh, I figured it out. I got it. Okay, bam. Bam. I like you too, Jessica. I love the idea of your business. I think it's totally it's a good time for that. People, like I said, they want extra good vibes with their cleaning sessions nowadays. So you can totally make that a very steady thing. Victoria has quite a few clients. Like, I mean, like what did she posted something. She has like 651 reviews. So like she's booked, which is cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. Yes. I just, and you know what's crazy about the message to move it up to? I was being general. It was given to me by a specific person. It was so wild. I have a business coach. Every doctor should have a doctor. Every therapist should have a therapist, right? Okay. So I have a business coach, and she held a boot camp for her clients and I guess whoever else wanted to attend. And that uh introduced me to several people. And while I'm like milling about, she's like, oh, you have to meet this other client of mine, Dara, her name was. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so she brings me over, and Dara's she's kind of shy. She's telling me that she basically she was telling me that she's like either a medium or a psychic medium. But she's like been kind of hesitant about that, and she's just now starting to lean into that. She's a Reiki healer, but there's like this other component that she was like kind of not so sure about. And I was like, well, yeah, you can come to the shop. We can talk about it, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, can I give you a message? I don't mean to be like weird or whatever. And I was like, girl, this is what I do's. I do's this. Like, you're not weird at all. I hang out with people who can see shit. What's up? What's the message? Let me have it. And she was like, okay, I just feel like whatever you're working on for the fall, specifically like September, you should move it up to the summertime and do it in July. And I was like, because the intensive was just like a thought in my head. The magic intensive already exists, as you guys know. The fall semesters will be the third semester coming up. But like I said, my plan was just to run them simultaneously. You can do the magic intensive, you can do the business intensive. And she was like, whatever it is you're working on for the fall, you should move it up to July. And I was like, hi, complete stranger, with a message from the gods. I was like, copy, got you. And I went home and I sat down and I like plugged everything out on the calendar in terms of how much time I wanted to spend with every student and every BetterWitch that's in the program and all that stuff. And it made perfect sense to move the business intensive to July. And I was like, man, I mean, you know what I mean? This is some like Touched by an Angel type shit. Y'all remember that show, Touched by an Angel? Just popped up out of nowhere. She was just like, and she's supposed to be in like the virtual space with all the rest of my business coaches clients, and I haven't seen her in there once. So she literally like just like descended out of the sky this one day and was just like, have the intensive in July. I speak upon you. May God bless you. And then like disappeared. And I was like, oh wow. So anyway, you have Dara to thank for the intensive being in the summertime and the 21-day challenge being in the summertime. So shout out to Dara. Okay. I think I'm going to pull some cards for the new moon. I'm going to get some music going. Mm-mm-mm. You're a truck driver? That's cool. That's super cool. Yeah, right? That's cool. I love that. Wait, that's crazy too. Maybe I have a like, whoa, that's crazy. Maybe I have like a truck driver thing because I got all excited about that, like as if I don't already know two other female truck drivers that are like clients or regular followers. One of my BetterWitch graduates is a female truck driver, and someone who followed me that is, I think, going to be enrolling in the fall semester is a truck driver. She was like, "Oh, my truck route takes me like right past the Bronx, like right past HQ all the time. Like I really want to come visit, but I'm in like an 18 wheeler, so like I can't just pull up onto your street." Um, but that's cool. So like I have an appeal with the female truck drivers. Is that the case? Is there like a Is there like a thing between me and the truck driver lady? Do I seem like I'd make a good lady truck driver girlfriend? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? And then Zebulon drives a school bus. So this is crazy. I have just like all of these large vehicle drivers that follow me. Is that what it is? Am I giving like a truck driver, bus driver's girlfriend vibes? I seem like I'd be about the like trucking busing life, that I'd be like just like down to like live on the rig, weeks at a time. I would. I would do it. Just see the country. You know, America's beautiful. Like when she's not being ghetto, like driving cross country and stuff, it's pretty rad. You discovered me through Lilith Dorsey. Oh, welcome. Any friend of Lilith is a friend of mine. That's super cool. Love Lilith. She's been on the podcast twice. And I think we have a few more weeks before her next book comes out, but I'm looking forward to it. Tarot. Oh, I'm going to mess it up. I think it's Every Which Way. Tarot Every Which Way, using tarot cards for things other than divination, like spell casting and crystal grid making, stuff like that. So shout out to her. All right. Well, this has been, my goodness, now what, like a couple of years maybe since I've done a collective reading on the tubes. Is that possible? Maybe there's been like some here or there. Would you ever drive Route 66? Yeah, why not? Hey, Valentonia, good to see you. I mean, I don't drive. If you mean, would I be chauffeured around Route 66 by my trucker boyfriend or girlfriend, or a bus driver boyfriend or girlfriend? Yes, absolutely. I came here to be a passenger. I do need to get my license because I just feel like it's an adult thing to do. But Spirit has been very clear with me that I did not come here to like do a lot of manual labor and things for myself. Okay, so I was never really intended to drive myself places. I was intended to have a driver. Whether that driver is like a romantic partner or someone that I hire is neither here nor there. I came here to be driven. I think. Like I feel that in my soul. But I am going to learn how to drive because, hello, I'm almost 40. It's kind of ridiculous. Even being a New Yorker, it's a little ridiculous. So I was thinking a lot about this deck lately, which is weird because I really kind of don't, which is also weird because I am in this deck. Do you guys remember this deck? For those of you who are OGs, do you remember the Key Tarot? This tarot deck that I had the honor of modeling for and am in. Yes, Valentonia, I'm a passenger princess. That's what you call it. 100%. I know that I came here to be the one that like makes sure that we have the snacks and stuff. I did not come here to do the driving. No. No, no, no. So yeah, so I was thinking about flipping through and finding myself, but I think I'm just gonna see if I come up by surprise. If not, then I'll show you guys, but I think I'm going to see if I come up by surprise. This deck is called the Key Tarot. Beautiful black matte deck with gold gilding, created by Scarlett Ravenswood and oh my gosh, Jamie Gold. Jamie Gold, who did all of the like art and the rendering of the pictures. So shout out to Jamie. Absolutely beautiful work. And a very smart decision from a creative directing standpoint to ask me to be in the deck. I am the World card. Very honored to be the World card. So we'll see if I come up for somebody. But I wanted to pull some cards for this new moon in Taurus for each of the elements of the zodiac sign. So I'm just going to do earth, air, fire, and water. And as I said at the top, we have a new moon in Taurus, an opportunity to start over in the areas of money and of wealth and comfort and home. And so I feel like this is a good time in the year to like check in again and see what the summer is going to look like for those of us in the northern hemisphere. What's the summer going to look like? How is this new beginning um, going to impact us moving forward for a little bit? And what are the things that we can do to take advantage of it? Um, since there is so much abundance and gain in the air, uh, how do we make sure that we like claim that for ourselves so that it helps us? So I basically want to ask that for each of the elements. What is it that we are letting go of financially, and how do we do that? And what are we calling in those areas? And not just financially, but just like material, earthly abundance and success, and gain. I just keep hearing gain and increase. This is a time where a lot of us are going to see gain and growth and increase. And how do we make sure that we don't accidentally create a dam and block all of that because we've got something going on that's not allowing us to receive? So I want to check in for myself with about what, if anything, needs to be kicked out of the way so that when this energy of gain is at its peak, which I think is at around like 9:30 on Tuesday, the 7th, when this energy is at its peak, as much of it that can flows to me and isn't stopped by anything. So we're going to look at that for each of the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Like Gaia, yes, Gaia is like the earth, the Mother Earth goddess archetype. And anything that you can think of like coming out of her, I think would fall into that category of what Taurus relates to. All of those concepts of fertility. So money, yes, but so much more than that. So how do we make sure that we all get a taste of that, baby? Because I want some. So how do we make sure that's the case? So let's start. Let's see. Earth, air, fire, water. I think I'll just start with earth. You can take this message for your sun, moon, rising, or your Venus, I would say, because we are talking about Taurus and that Venusian energy. So I would take these messages for your sun, moon, rising, or Venus signs, starting with earth. Before I pull a card, I'm just going to say a quick prayer. Okay, earth signs. What are we getting rid of? And how? I'm calling in. Okay, earth signs. As I was shuffling, there was a card that wanted to jump out, the reverse Six of Wands. So I think overall, um, it's going to be really important for you to spend the next few months thinking about what it means to fail, because that's really a concern for you that I think has been holding you back. So much attachment to maybe doing things perfectly and getting like that big round of applause when you accomplish something has made it hard for you to like just get started. It's that perfectionism issue that can creep in for you, earth signs. And when that happens, you get analysis paralysis. You get so stuck in the details that you don't really move, this type of a energy in the reverse is like stuck, not moving action. You're not able to move forward with your creative ideas because you're too worried about them. So that's like an overall issue, earth signs, that we're going to be needing to leave behind with this new moon. We're purging that. And it's really very mental with the Queen of Swords. It's a um, negative, intrusive thought type of a situation. It's not valid at all. You're absolutely super, super capable. The ideas that you have are good. And what you would pull off would be good enough. Like, perfect is rarely ever necessary. So you would be perfectly capable of pulling off what you need, but you're so in your head about it. You're so worried about failure. You're so worried about, not getting it right, that you really have been standing still and stuck in place about your ideas, things you want to start, maybe side businesses you want to create, products you want to make, um, uh, services you want to render, whatever it is for you. You haven't been making as much progress as you could, but this is an opportunity for you to kick that bad habit to the curb. You're just going to have to look individually at what it is that causes this. For some of you, it might be anxiety. You might want to talk to somebody. You might consider medication. For some of you, it could be trauma, where you were made to feel like you would never be good enough, or that you weren't super bright, weren't super capable, what have you. For everybody, it'll be different. Why you sort of go into that mode, but you have an opportunity to clear that up for yourself, earth signs. Mm. Okay, so for you, it's the second example that I gave, trauma, where it comes from a traumatic messaging around what you're capable of doing. So you have an opportunity to work through that with this new moon. Okay, and the way that you want to do that is by doing it. I wish there was like maybe something easier, but Spirit is just saying, look, get it done. Just get it done. So whatever you have to do that to to stop overthinking it, you should address it and go ahead and get really, really busy. And the next few months are going to be very busy for you, earth signs, as a result. Okay, because if you can kick that negative programming to the side, you not only is spirit saying get busy, take action, but they're also saying like you're going to have action, which means like you're going to have clients, you're going to have customers. Like what you have in your mind is actually going to be successful. So be prepared, because you're going to be going from like 0 to 60 really quickly, um, and working. And then what are we calling in? Cha-ching. Okay. Cha-ching. Here we go. Like I said, if you are able to do that, to clear this blockage before, or around the time of this new moon in Taurus, it's nothing but money, 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 money. All right, we're calling in money with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is a very juicy energy. Okay, what I like about the energy of this card is that like the pentacles obviously in general relate to money, and like the more you go up in the numbers, it's like, oh, even more, even more, even more. So it might not at first glance seem like this is a big deal, Four of Pentacles, but I love seeing this card in the reverse, because when it's in the upright, the energy is very much like a miserly energy. Like I gotta cling on to every dime that I have because I barely have enough. I don't have enough for savings. I don't have enough to really feel comfortable. I just have enough to live off of. And when the Four of Pentacles turns around, that energy is like, oh, the very opposite. Like I have so much of it that I don't even really have to have a budget, because I couldn't spend it all. I'm in a state of freedom around money. It's not even that I have so much of it, it's that I feel so free with it. I don't have to penny pinch. I don't have to stress every purchase and decision. I can pull the card out, buy something, and not really think about it. That's the energy that's coming in for you, Taurus. And there's a very bouginess about it. So I think the only thing I would caution you against is like maybe excessive spending as a result of it. The money's going to start coming in pretty quickly. And if you're trying to build something for the long term, you don't want to splurge that money. You want to spend conservatively and put aside as much as you can so that you can grow and then invest in whatever you're doing, wisely. So just be cautious about that. But yeah, clearing away that perfectionism, earth signs, is definitely going to open up the pathways. Okay, 10 of Wands, get to work. Get to work. Air, step on up, air. Air signs, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. What new beginning are you cultivating? What are we purging and getting rid of, or should we be purging and getting rid of for this new moon? And what should we expect to call in as a result? How do we get there? Yes, just in time. Hey, Promise. Welcome. Welcome to the room. Let's see. Okay, interesting and beautiful. Air signs. We're letting go of judgment. We're letting go of criticism and guilt and why you're here where you are. I feel like there are a lot of air signs that feel sort of like they may have made some mistakes around the themes in their lives of money and material gain and home and comfort. So, especially with the particular design we have here on the judgment card, it makes me wonder if there are a lot of air signs in this collective that are in like living situations that they're not super thrilled about, that they feel like it's like their fault. You might feel like where you are, literally physically, like where you live and the conditions of where you live, are not reflective of where you would like to be. And you carry some resentment and guilt towards yourself about that, like you know, I am where I am because of my own choices kind of a feeling, that has maybe been impacting you more than you would care to admit, slowing you down from pursuing ideas that you have, or maybe taking some financial risks. Um, but where you want to address this is going to be in your dreams, in your astral world, um, connecting with spirit guides, because what you're going through is not really like it's not as much of a practical thing the way it is for the earth signs. Like the earth signs kind of just need to like get off their ass a little bit. And they're not being lazy, they're just being perfectionists. But like you just need to get to work. You need to stop thinking and start getting to work. For you, it's almost the opposite. Air signs, you're going to really benefit from not trying to approach this from a practical perspective. Where you are in your life, yes, there are probably some steps that you could take to like do better, but it's not really about that right at the present moment. You want to address the more spiritual and emotional reasons, why you are kind of speaking to yourself negatively and looking at your situation um, in a way that makes you feel guilty, you know? That makes sense. Air signs. Um, your situation or what you would like to would benefit from clearing out for this new moon is all that sticky resentment about where you are and judgment against yourself about your current situation as it relates to like money and where you live. And then what we're calling in is a better living environment. So air signs, you're definitely dealing with blockages around literally where you live. Like I just keep feeling the need to like look around the room. Like, it's not that your home's not clean or decorated or whatever. It's just, it's not really where you would like it to be. And this kind of makes you feel like you can't really shine fully because like your home environment doesn't really reflect the greatness and the abundance and the comfort and the wealth that you yearn for. So, what we have here is calling in a new home space, a new opportunity. For some of you, I'm not going to lie, this is a new family, which might sound a little bit fucked up to say and be like, oh, a new family. But for a very small portion of you, air signs, the discomfort that you feel is because you know that you're like not happy, not just in your physical home, but with the people that you live with. So this might be, still living with your parents, still living with siblings or something like that, but it could also be like living with your spouse and kids. It's a hard conversation to have, especially if the truth of the matter is that you like maybe don't like being a parent, don't really want to be like with your kids 24 hours a day. I think a lot more parents are miserable being parents than ever admit it. And I feel really bad because I don't think that most parents can be honest and say things like having children, you know, was a mistake, or perhaps just having them when I did was a mistake, or I wasn't prepared for this and it turns out I'm really not ready. I don't think parents can really talk like that. So, but either way, some of you, a very small portion of you air signs are feeling that way, where like your new beginning would actually come on the other end of, leaving your family. So that's what you're calling in right now. And I just encourage you to do your best to try to let go of this guilt and resentment that you feel. You have a lot of that going on right now. And I know it doesn't sound good to be like, I want a new family, or like, I don't want to live with my family, but um, just try not to judge yourself. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. It'll get there. It'll get there. Because what you're calling in is something new. And that newness is coming as long as you can let go of like any of that feeling of guilt about how long it's taking, or any of that stuff. You can get through it. And it's going to be important to like show what you're working on, and allow yourself to like really put that on display. For some of you air signs, this is going to be showing off like your creative projects or things that you can make, things that you do, just putting yourself in the like limelight a little bit more, um, and doing more crafting, like crafting more things for yourself. That's going to allow you to change your position. So for some of you, you might actually be starting like some type of a crafting business where you make something, you make these are like painted discs, but they make me think of these candles that I know that have pentagrams on top. So you might be starting a candle business. You might be thinking of some type of small business that you want to begin. And that's what's going to put you in the position to change your environment. So you definitely want to consider it and know that this card carries the energy of showing off what you're working on. So don't feel compelled to work on things like in silence or whatever. I know sometimes people are like, move in silence, don't tell everybody what you're doing. And you don't have to tell everybody what you're doing in terms of like your goals. But you can show people what you make, show people what you're capable of. And I think you're going to see a good success with that, air signs, because you wanted to. You want to have something new so much that yeah, you're gonna definitely take advantage of it. So that's a way to get there. Tasha, hey, you guys, Tasha is going to be with us for high tea this month, which I think is on the 26th or something. Tasha, I have to email you the link to this stream room for then. But we're going to be talking about working with the spirits of death, the darker spirits, Santa Muerte, Lilith, Hecate, these types of liminal dark spirits for those of you who are interested in that. So get excited because we're going to have a special guest on High Tea for the first time ever, which I think is cool. I know that feeling, Jessica. I know that feeling. Okay. Yes, Valentonia, you made more soap. Can you ship it to the shop? Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Valentonia, who has been making soap and gave us samples. We actually have our next tea and tarot party. So for those of you who are watching, if you are a witchy vendor of any kind, or perhaps you're a witchy service provider that offers like gift certificates and gift cards, we throw a party at HQ. I throw a party at HQ every solstice and equinox called Tea and Tarot. We do donation-based tarot readings. We do goodie bags, there's music, there's complimentary refreshments, we have vendors. It's a fun time. It's all day in the shop. And if you are a witchy vendor, you can either apply to be a vendor, though I think the spots are almost filled up for that, or you can make a donation to our goodie bags and you can send us like sample sizes. We ask for 20 to 25 sample sizes, with your labels, your cards, your contact information, and they will go in our goodie bags. It's a great way to promote your brand or business if you have such. So check it out. You can go to the events page on the website, bronxwitch.com, click on events, and you'll see the info there to be a vendor or to donate. So I am so grateful, Valentonia, for your donation. Gracias. Perfect timing. I don't think you even knew that the next Tea and Tarot was coming up. So that was just serendipitous. All right, who's next? We did Earth, Air, Fire. Fire signs. I'm a little bit biased. Leo in the building. Take this for your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Fire signs. What are we purging and letting go of for this new moon? And what are we calling in with this Taurus energy of abundance, growth of gain, regarding material possessions and earthly things? Hey, it's Chips. Ooh. Ooh. Kismet, right? Right on time. Everybody keeps coming in just as their sign is about to be read. Isn't that crazy? And yes, you're right on time with that solstice. That's so crazy. What's up, it's Chips? All right, fire signs, fire signs. Ooh, read this like a book. All right, fire signs. We are getting out of a very emotionally manipulative situation. Very much letting go and freeing yourself. What is going on with my music? Um, Letting go of not just letting go of, purging. Like the way there's water in this card and it's upside down, like it's making me think of like vomit. You are literally purging yourself of emotional manipulation, and emotional abuse. The energy around this is very male, so you know, maybe getting out of a romantic situation with somebody who's kind of toxic, or controlling, or gaslighting. Or this could be a professional relationship, um, where either like an individual at work or just like the institution of work in general was just emotionally harmful for you. And so now, um, there's a purge happening. So you might be quitting, you might be kind of ending a relationship with this individual. But it's a very, very domineering energy that you're clearing yourself of. Jessica said, boy, howdy. Leo, we're doing fire signs generally, Chip. So if you are a Leo, yes. And you can take these messages to resonate with your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. So if you're a fire of any of those placements, planets. Yeah, so we're getting rid of that emotional manipulation. Here we have that judgment card again. So it's just all this water coming up. So there's just been a lot of heavy energy for you, fire signs, a lot of just like emotional energy that is being released. You might be finding yourself like literally like suddenly crying during the day, like thinking about like what happened. Like it's just, you know, whether you work for an employer that was manipulative or took advantage of you, whether you were with somebody who was like that, whenever you come up out of a situation like that, there's a lot of emotions. Because again, with this judgment card coming up for you too, fire, like it did with, I think it was the air signs, uh, there's a lot of blame that you put on yourself. You know, how did I let myself get into this situation? How did I let somebody take advantage of me like that? I can't believe I let somebody talk to me like that or say things like that or make me feel that way. So you take on a lot of personal blame. And at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that, like, you not standing up for yourself is not the reason why this person was an asshole. You not standing up for yourself is not the reason why this institution is, um, you know, like rigged to take advantage of people. You know, so there's a lot of blame that you've been doing towards yourself, and there's nothing wrong with taking accountability and responsibility for your role and where you are in your life. But when we're dealing with abusers, when we're dealing with corrupt systems, institutions, um, it is not our fault that they are fucked up to begin with, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, okay, sure, perhaps you could have been stronger, perhaps you could have been wiser. Perhaps you could have had your eyes open and seen the red flags sooner. Yes, for sure. But your inability to do that is not the reason why that person or that situation had red flags in the first place. You know what I mean? So try to give yourself some grace and not blame yourself so much, because you need to let go of that. Especially what you carry against yourself. You need to forgive yourself, basically, is like the short version of the story. And if you clear that out, this is so really interesting because again, pentacles keep coming up because we're talking about Taurus energy. And so far, hopefully we don't get to water and then it's like completely different. But so far for everybody, pentacles have been coming up in the what we're calling in kind of, you know, section of the message. Um, so this is a very abundant time for at least 3 out of 4 signs so far, 3 out of 4 of the elements so far. So once again, fire sign, we see money coming in for you too. But this is interesting the way that it is. Um, because it is literally like the release of a blockage. So you might be getting an inheritance. You might be, getting some type of like cash out from like, I don't know how jobs work, like you had an old IRA at one job, you didn't know that it like transferred to your other job or something like that, a retirement fund or something like that. This feels like there's been money that's been held for you. Maybe you have a trust fund, or maybe there's some stash of money somewhere that you didn't know about. But it's like there's been a little bit of an accumulation of money, and you're forgiving yourself is going to allow for that shift energetically for it to be released, however that is. So take that however that means. But it definitely feels like some of you have some type of inheritance or some type of payout, windfall that wasn't being released for some reason and is now going to get there if you're able to let go of that resentment towards yourself that you're carrying. You could say, I forgive myself. I know that I'm not a fuck up. I know that somebody else was taking advantage of me and I deserve this. Because when you're carrying resentment against yourself and you haven't forgiven yourself for your past mistakes, you can't be in that energy of deserving. You're looking at yourself as not worthy because of the mistakes you made. So you have to forgive yourself and realize that, like, yeah, I made some mistakes, but guess what? I wasn't the one that made you take advantage of me. And that's the real reason why I am where I am. So I deserve payouts. I deserve a windfall. Um, I deserve good things to happen to me, to shower down on me, you know? So work on that fire sign, that self forgiveness. Love it. Hello. Yes, Zebulon. Well, break me off a piece then. I know, I love that. Mm, wow. Okay, that's deep. Forgiveness of ourselves, feeling worthy of getting everything that we need. And then this really just kind of echoes how we get there. Um, like moving forward, basically, not sitting and waiting um, for anything, moving forward, knowing that it's coming. This is definitely these two cards together, particularly like the message is giving unexpected blessings, unexpected payouts. So there really isn't anything for you to do, but to kind of just like go about your business at this point. As long as you work on that personal work of forgiving yourself, the rest is really just a matter of, I just feel like, the door of the safe opening up. um, you don't know where this is coming from necessarily, so this is not really something, or it's not something that you can have an impact on if you do know where it's coming from. So all you can really do is just stop moping and being so down on yourself, basically. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, that's what inspired your cleaning business. That's beautiful. All right, water signs. Yay. I love that. I love that. It is a pleasure to have you in this community. Very, very much. I was just talking about how Reiki helped me today because one of our regular members at the shop, she is a member of like our workshare space and also a coven member. Um, but she's also a Reiki healer. And so we were just kind of talking about, we have happened to have had similar journeys with our ex partners, very similar journeys actually. And she asked me a very interesting question. She was like, so, like, given what you experienced with your soon to be ex-husband, what, like, do you feel like any of your chakras were impacted and how so? And I was like, oh, wow, that's a really interesting question. Um, and I felt like my upper chakras, my clarity was impacted. And my sacral chakra was impacted. My ability to like create from that space had very much been impacted by, our relationship dynamic. And she was like, yeah. And I felt like my heart. And I was like, you know what? Interestingly enough, as difficult as my marriage ended up like being for me emotionally and stuff like that, I really felt like my heart chakra was fine. Because this coven member was talking about, as a result of what they went through, really feeling like they don't see themselves like loving again, necessarily, like it's just so unappealing to them, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, actually, you know what? I'm really grateful. I feel like Reiki shielded my heart from being hurt. Because as much as I feel like I don't think I want a relationship anytime soon and perhaps never again after what I've experienced, um, I do not feel closed off to love at all. And I really attribute that to my Reiki practice, to regularly like flooding myself with loving energy. I've been able to separate out love versus being in a relationship with somebody. So I definitely do not want to date. It looks like nothing but hot sauce butter nonsense out there in the dating pool. So I have no interest in that. But love, I still very much feel open to. So shout out to Reiki. Yes, I'm looking forward to class too. It's going to be so dope. Who doesn't like a challenge? And I have my own personal goals that I know I can accomplish in those 21 days. It's just a matter of having the time to do it. So I'm like super hyped to start because I know I'm going to have something pretty dope at the end. All right. So now, water signs. Oh my God, Jessica, me too. Like exactly 4 years as of March 2020. Can I share that? I hope so. But yes, samesies, guys. Samesies. And you want love. See that? I think that's the beauty of Reiki. I don't know if you're familiar with Reiki, but you might want a Reiki session because that's essentially what we do. We flood the client with the unconditional love that is source, that's everywhere, that we all have access to, but that Reiki healers are trained to harness and direct into a specific place, room, space, person. And the beauty of Reiki in my life is, even though I've been through what I've been through, and even though I also have been celibate for that amount of time, I do not feel lacking of love in any way. I don't feel lacking of love. Maybe lacking of like, the D, but that's not love. So yeah, I am very grateful to Reiki. So you might really find a lot of fulfillment from a Reiki session because it will fill you with that love that you're seeking. And then it's a matter of like, do you want physical pleasure and stuff like that? That's a different story. But if love is something that you're wanting to feel that fullness of and you haven't in a while, a Reiki session might be really good for you. You should see um, if there are practitioners near you, though Reiki can be given virtually as well. So I offer virtual sessions, and so do most of the Reiki healers I know. My teacher doesn't. He's old school. My teacher doesn't, but I do. And a lot of Reiki healers do. So consider it. All right, water signs. Last but certainly not least, what do you need to purge, let go of, to clear space this new moon? What are you calling in and how? Wow. Well, water signs. This is quite an energy here. You definitely have to make a choice. I can tell you that much. Um, you know, if there's a part of you that hasn't been accepting that this is the end, I think that's the big elephant in the room. Just this ending that you have like been refusing to acknowledge, refusing to accept, a lot of resistance and like wanting to ignore it, but it's over and a choice has to be made. A choice has to be made. You can't continue to stall this ending. Okay, so this is a time of new beginnings, a new moon. That is what it's for, to let go of anything old so that you can start fresh. And this is like a huge resistance on your part. So I feel like this is not in any way going to feel like a surprise or anything. This is like a very big ending in your life. We're not talking about like ending your subscription to like Hulu, whatever it is that's coming to an end in your life, it's a really big deal. And for some of you, it won't be the ending of something external. It'll very much be um, a self thing where literally like an entire self is dying off um, and ending, and you've been really not wanting to like accept that. I think for the most part, out of comfort, it's emotionally comfort. Water signs, y'all are emotional. And it's emotionally comforting to stay where you are, even if like financially and substance wise it is. But this is Taurus season. This is the most abundant month. The energy around May this year is like crazy. It's like just dripping with dollars and gold, like just dripping with all of this like potential for prosperity. And the last thing you need is like your old self getting in the way. So I know you seem like you feel like you're comfortable. You think you're comfortable, but you would be way more comfortable with more money because everybody is more comfortable with more money. Okay? So trust. The like warm fuzzy feelings that you get from kind of staying where you're at and not accepting this ending is nowhere near as amazing as it will be when you are just like laying on your like, I don't know, leather couches in your silk robe, whatever abundance is for you. But very clearly an end has come and a choice needs to be made, and I would do your best to do it before the new moon, which is coming up very soon. um if not literally, at least in your mind, make up that it's over because you had all that swords energy. So you may not literally be able to move out or, whatever it is that needs to be done. But you at least mentally need to say, okay, I'm done. This is the end. Moving forward. Because you have the opportunity to really move, literally move. We're calling in the Three of Wands here, water signs. So yeah, you're letting your comfort get in the way completely, and your emotional comfort. Let me stress that. It's not that where you are is necessarily physically comforting. It's that like you're too afraid to cause discomfort and say, I'm done, I have to go. So you're keeping the peace, keeping quiet, and just kind of like coasting and coping because you don't want to ruffle feathers, but you really need to ruffle those feathers because you're standing in the way of actually progressing somewhere. And for those of you who want to move, this is you standing in the way of you moving. So this is what you stand to call in for yourself with this Taurus season: a move, a potentially very big move too. I've never noticed that about this card, that the decor is like old Roman, and he's holding these wands that are unpolished. But what he's looking at is a completely cosmopolitan city, like, Chicago or New York or something. So, where you could be going could be really incredible, like leaps and bounds. I've been seeing a lot of astrologers talking about this season as like a quantum leap season. I've seen numerous astrologers use this term, quantum leap. So I think for a lot of us, there's a really big transformation that's happening. I think that's why the death card's coming up also, because this really is a huge shift that you are either going to let come into your life, or that you're going to keep standing in the way of by not being ready, basically. Okay. Yeah, and just more comfort. Nine of Cups. Literally, like, this is you moving to like your high rise condo with like your lovely home bar, and like, yeah, a really, really comfortable environment is what is on the other side of um, these blockages. Yeah. Well, well, um, these are choices. And I think the beauty of divination in general is that like, if okay, I guess I wouldn't say the benefit of divination. I would say the benefit of card reading, because even if you are pulling cards for yourself and you are not yet at the point where you are really adept at spirit communication. So I talk about like reading cards in two different categories. There are people who read cards, and then there are diviners who use cards as one of the tools that they use for divination. So a card reader is somebody who has studied the cards, understands the general, like the definitions, if you will, of them, the commonly accepted interpretations of them, and they do a really good job of putting those together when they pull those cards out to um, get an entire sort of message from that. Card readers, and if that's you for yourself, the beauty of that is it allows you to explore like your own psyche and your own psychology. So you're not necessarily getting messages from outside of yourself, but it's going to help you to process your thoughts and see what you really think about something, or uncover biases or stuff like that that you didn't realize that you had. So I encourage everybody to pull cards, even if they're not a diviner, because it's a good um if you know anything about Carl Jung, it's a good way to explore your own mind and come up with good like decisions for yourself. And then there are diviners, folks who receive messages from spirit generally and could do it with pretty much any tool, but maybe they choose cards specifically or whatever. And so the benefit of pulling cards in whatever way it's happening for you is it allows you to kind of like reveal these things about yourself. So, you know that you're having a hard time with conflict, that setting boundaries is really difficult. It's great to sit down at a time like this and know that the new moon would be in Taurus, would be a good time for you to try to overcome that, because there's opportunities for new living spaces, new movements, new places to go on the other side of that. If you didn't know that, you would just let the new moon pass you by, and it's not that the universe won't give you another chance, but it's nice to take advantage of what you have. But if you're not somebody who's in tune and has methods for seeing how the energy is flowing, how the energy of our universe is shifting, then you might, you miss out on these kind of opportunities to take advantage. So don't do that, water signs. You are being given the heads up that on the other side of this new moon in Taurus, you have new places, fabulous new experiences, travel, getting out of your current living situation, or current work situation, and going on to like much greener pastures. If you are able to accept this beautiful death, this beautiful ending, and make a choice. Whatever the choice is, just go ahead and freaking accept that things are over and make that choice. If you do it, baby, this is, all I keep hearing every time I flash this, these two cards together is, I'm coming up. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Like, you are coming up, baby. You are coming up, water signs, big time. Like, and every time I look at this card, I just keep looking at the top floors up here. So, like, we're not just moving into the city, like, we're moving into the penthouse in the biggest building in the city. Okay, we are sitting pretty. We are comfortable. We are surrounded by opulence. Water sign, you might have like the best card display, even though earth signs was pulling out nothing but pentacles. Okay, so nothing but coin is coming up for my earth signs. This is really wonderful because it's almost like regardless of the money, like it's not even about that, it's the lifestyle that you're about to really step into. The money is there. The money is hidden in like the quality of the linens, the quality of the glass, the type of building that we're living in. So you might not necessarily have the most cakiest bank account, but like your lifestyle is about to get a big upgrade. I keep getting the impression that some things, one of the reasons you won't need money as much is because like things are going to be paid for. I think you're going to have a lot of paid for experiences. Like somebody might put you up in an apartment, like that happens to like models and stuff like that. They have these model buildings, and like they'll move the models from, the Ukraine or wherever they're from and just put them up. So like I see you having the opportunity to have things paid for by you, free stuff like free products, free swag. This might be brand deals. Maybe that's something you're aspiring to. And this is opulence in the lifestyle sense. Earth signs are definitely looking at an upgrade profit wise. Yeah, which is good, I think. Okay, I think that's everybody. Yes. Yes, it is. So like I said, very much looking forward to it. All last year, my new moon ritual was to fast, and my full moon ritual was to take a spiritual bath. And Spirit flipped it up on me this year, which is so interesting. But right at January 1st, the very first like new moon of the year, they were like, switch it up. And so now I do a bath on the new moon and I fast on the full moon. And that's been working out quite well. So, and I taking a spiritual bath every month. I highly recommend having a regular spiritual bath routine. Spiritual baths are cold. For the most part, there are a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, if you're doing it right, you're not luxuriating in a bath. You're pouring water that has been spiritually prepared, herbally prepared, over your naked body. And it's pretty freaking cold either way. You do it. And I've started to look forward to that. And I don't like a cold water situation. I take piping hot, piping hot showers. Okay. When I tell you, I don't know how my skin hasn't melted off of my bones. I take the hottest freaking showers ever. So I do not like a cold water situation. And yet I look forward to my baths because right after you just feel so deeply cleanse. It shocks the bad juju off of you, you know? Um, and I'm looking forward to it. So that'll be on Tuesday for me. And a couple of other rituals are underway. The Black Herman candles have almost arrived at the shop. I was hoping they would get here by Friday so we could send everybody's packages and pre-orders out with Friday's mail, but that didn't happen. UPS says it will be out for delivery tomorrow. So that means we will have everybody's Black Herman bundles, candles, prayer cards, books out. Anybody who just ordered the book, we already shipped your order out because we had the books. The books came in good and quickly, but obviously the candles and the prayer cards are being consecrated and made by Brother Moses. So you got to wait a little longer for the magic to be right. So, but they're finally on the way. And I told y'all guys from the jump, I get my time with Black Herman first, and then the rest of y'all will get your candles. Okay. But my ritual will be happening first. So I'm going to do that. And then I have some other personal things to do. So it's going to be a very magical new moon for me. Got a lot going on in the next couple of days. But I definitely pray that all of you guys have beautiful new moons as well. Whatever you end up doing, may it be refreshing and new. Wim breathing techniques are amazing too. Reset your nervous system and juju goes bye-bye. Ooh, okay. Oh, all right. So before I let you guys go, um, who wants to see my card from this deck? I wanted to see if it would come up in the reading. It didn't. So I will look for it and I will show you my card. I am the World card in the Key Tarot, this gorgeous deck by Jamie Gold and Scarlett Ravenswood. Scarlett Ravenswood, by the way, has a YouTube channel. So if you want to check her out, you can. I think it's just under her name. But I'm going to look for me. Tell me if you want to see your girl, BronxWitch, as the World card. Do you want to see? I loved modeling for this card. It was so cool. And the concept that they had is just so gorgeous because I'm actually not a big fan of photography style tarot decks. I don't know if you guys are, but you know when the tarot picture is like a photo of someone as opposed to like a drawn picture. I am usually not a big fan of that. I just typically don't really like how it's done. Jamie did such a good job with this. I don't know whose idea it was to do it this way, but her execution is amazing because she basically, the way they did it was if they wanted you to be a model for the deck, they reached out to you. And then if you accepted, they told you what your card was going to be, and what they wanted you to do in terms of like posing, what you should wear, what type of environment you should be in. And then they took that and they like CGI'd it into like a more fantasized like background so that it's semi photo, semi drawn, which is so, so cool. So, like, look, like this, the tower, like that's an actual building, somewhere near Scarlett or Jamie. They took a picture and then Jamie worked her magic to add all these elements that make it look like it's being struck by lightning and it's um, falling apart. Oh, I found it. Okay. All right. Jessica, at least Jessica. Okay. 1 out of 11 people. That's fine. That's fair. Would anybody else like to see it? I mean, come on, guys. How often do you see somebody that you know in a tarot deck? And they reached out to basically all of their witchy and tarot friends. So there's a bunch of other people in here that you guys probably know because there's a bunch of YouTubers and stuff. But I'm never on. I'm on the internet, but I'm not on the internet. So I know myself and not really many other people. So, but I know some of them are like tarot famous people and witchy famous people. So you should check out the deck and see if there's anybody else you recognize. But the only person I recognize in here is myself and Elliot, who is the King of Pentacles. Oh, and I think my girl Tia, and of course Jamie and Scarlett are in the deck too. I think my girl Tia is in this deck. But anywho, this is Jamie. That's Jamie. She did all the art. So she very aptly made herself the magician. Very accurate. I miss Garland's Ravenville and her pagan happy hour, but her and Jamie's key tarot lives on. Yeah, I couldn't find the deck online for a while, and I thought they I don't know, went out of business or something like that. But then the other day I saw them post on Instagram, and the website still exists. So I think it's thekeytarot.com. You can still get the deck. I did have a discount code at one time. I'm not sure if it still works, but if it was going to work, it would probably be this, because I try to make all of my codes that. So go to thekeytarot.com and try it. No promises. I don't know if it still works. Okay, but the deck is really dope. Anyway, so you should get it. This is Scarlett. She made herself the Empress. So they are the Empress and the Magician working together to make this deck. That was really cute. And now it's my turn. You ready? This is me, the World card. How gorgeous. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at my face beat. You guys, I did my own makeup. Check that out. Look like a purple-haired Little Mermaid or something. Did my own makeup. I still have this shirt dress thing. It's from Fashion Nova. Okay. Those selenite wands are real. They were my selenite wands, but then Jamie, using CGI, extended them and made them longer and bigger. They're smaller in real life. Yeah, so basically they reached out to the models and then they tell you what to do. So she was like, okay, so I need you to be wearing like a solid color, long dress. You pick what you want, but it just needs to be solid color, it should be long. Try to replicate the image of the world, basically. You need to be, I don't know if anybody else had this difficulty, but my fucking pose is like impossible. Look at how I'm standing. So this is me standing on the floor. Okay, Jamie took me and made me look like I was floating above water, like Jesus. Isn't that cool? Like Jesus, I'm witch Jesus. Okay, so she did this cool thing where I'm floating above water, but in real life, I'm standing on the ground. So my husband was the photographer and he's trying to line me up, and I have to make the shape of the number 4 with my legs while being tippy-toed. So I had to, but also looking over my shoulder. So I had to like plan myself so like intensely, and then like just jump into the position and then hope that Joe caught it. So I did it over and over and over again to get it right. Because every time you try to tiptoe, you move your upper leg, like your head doesn't go. The world card's head is like completely turned around while her whole body is facing forward. So I'm trying to get my whole head to go all the way around. This shit was difficult, y'all. Super difficult. But worth it. I nailed it. I look like I'm tippy toeing and like floating in the air and somehow moving forward and back at the same time. I nailed it. Okay. You like, yay. Thank you. Gracias. Yeah, I think oh no, they're selenite ones. Yeah. Yeah, they kind of look like candles, but no, they're like razor sharp too and do some real damage. But isn't that a face beat? Look at that. Look at that face card not declining a bit, baby. I look like a black angel, don't I? Unbelievable. Gorgeous. I love the way Jamie did this card. The purple, the green, so good. To great, like the way she pulled up the colors of like what I was rocking and everything. And it was so perfect that I had my hair in those braids too, because the world card has long hair. So I wouldn't have been able to pull off the look exactly these days. So this was like perfect. So thank you guys. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Scarlett, for the honor of posing for this card. Dang, I look gorgeous, y'all. I really do. When she sent the deck and I saw the card, I was like, oh, okay, girl. Look at me. Okay. Yes. You know, because the picture came out kind of cool, but to see her spin on it, incredible. Yes. She got me out here like Witch Jesus, walking on the water. Praise God. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for the honor of reading for you on this evening. Oh my God. I got to tell you, I had the YouTube Premium where they don't play any ads for like a month trial or something like that. And I really should have kept it because I got spoiled having no ads on my YouTube videos. And now it's back to ads. And I don't know if I can live this life. I don't know if I can go back. Yeah. Another fucking subscription. Time to turn around. Get another subscription. Okay. Have a beautiful new moon, everybody. These new beginnings. This is an abundant year for all of us, but this month in particular is truly, truly poppin'. So I definitely pray that all of you at least take a moment to consider what blockages you might have in the areas of financial freedom, monetary gain, fame, comfort, lavish living quarters, you know, all of those feelings of not being worthy, ready, what have you, because I really feel like if you do, you're going to be surprised at how much comes, like, you know, flowing in. It's just a very rich time energetically. So I pray you all take advantage of it. All right. So thanks for tuning into this surprise live. If you haven't liked this video, you should. If you haven't clicked on the bell button, you should, because this is a surprise live. And I don't plan these because they're surprises. If you want to come to my monthly high tea lives or to my monthly Witch of Color support group lives, then you are going to want to join the Coven community. The link is in the description box. Get excited for the 21-day challenge starting on June 1st for my witchy entrepreneurs. The BronxWitch HQ staycation is happening October 25th through the 27th, 3-day and 2-night all-inclusive retreat to do witchy shit with me and 13 other witches in the woods. Early bird applications for that are open, and enrollment in the fall semester of the BetterWitch Magic Intensive is also open, currently with a very generous 6-month payment plan. Okay. So you can lock in your spot, one of the last spots in the fall semester, for a pretty good rate, if you ask me. I think that's about it. Okay, those are the announcements. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I will see you witches very soon, probably next in the Witches of Color support group. And then after that, in the stream room exclusive for the Coven only for high tea, we are going to hang out with Natasha. If she's still in the room, we're going to hang out with Natasha and talk about the spirits of the dead, the spirits of the underworld, the dark, liminal, divine feminines that, you know, watch over the worlds of the dead, which we've been talking about a lot these last few lives. So hope to see you all there. Have a great night, everybody. Blessed be.